Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me today a very special guest. He's been a good friend of mine for well over 10 years. We worked together personally at a retail job for about, what would you say, 8 years?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Nick Rodigas. Nick is a cast member at LegoLand Discovery, and he's here to tell us what his experience has been like so far as a Legoland cast member and an actor as well. Nick, if you'd like to elaborate on that a little bit for me.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, Sean. I'm proud to be on your podcast with you here. Working in an environment like this has really brought out my best skills and qualities, and I didn't even realize it at the time. My sister got me subscribed to a year of improv acting, and that really turned things around in my life, and especially in part of like my self-esteem and things like that. It really got me to come out of my shell, so to speak. Adding that to the atmosphere of kids wanting to play and excited and looking for games and activities, it was just the perfect combination of playing with my favorite childhood toy combined with a little bit of teaching and acting. It's just a perfect combination for me, really. I couldn't be more grateful. My only regret, I would say, is that maybe, I didn't start working with them sooner.
That's
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, I think we all need that little push, and it sounds like the improv acting was the push that you needed to figure out what you wanted to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I had that in my background, but I was also really lucky that you, Sean, gave me the opportunity for our short film, and that was definitely a step in the right direction for me. And we'll see where it goes. I'm very optimistic about it.
Well, that was our first project together, and we're working on more. We have some stuff in the background that we're fiddling with and tweaking. So there'll be more to come for you for sure, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
So Nick, I have some questions for you today. Is that all right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Shoot away.
Perfect. So I want to ask you to start off with what has your experience been like as a Legoland cast member?
Well, a great team, first of all. I think great teamwork together. And, people always say teamwork makes the dream work. And I think that the opportunities arose for me because of my team. And I'd say just kind of open curiosity too. Seeing different jobs on the site and wondering what they really were, and just getting openly curious, not getting shy or anything, and just trying to take that extra step needed so I can really develop into my pure self.
What do you do as a Legoland cast member?
So I do a lot of things really. I don't like to just say I'm a cast member and I just stay in a position all day, and and that's that. I think I really stood out because I try to engage with people. I'm not afraid to, present myself or introduce myself and make sure everybody is having a good day. I started teaching these creative workshops where we teach children how to put together a model
Oh, look at that.
or things like that. Or I would dress up in costume because I was just the perfect height. It's really just a coincidence. I'm the perfect height to fit in these costumes. People who are too tall and can't fit the torso over their body and things like that. And I just had a knack for it. So I started doing that too. And then the biggest kind of challenge was starting Lego education classes where we had school groups of 30 to 40 children
Wow.
who were learning specific STEM lessons like energy and friction and gravity and things like that. Where it put me in a spot where I had to teach these kids. They were all excited to be here, but you know what? They had to pay attention to somebody. You had to find a way to kind of tone it down, but make sure that they learned something while having fun and putting together their model. So that was very challenging too. Trusting the uncertainty over certainty. because it promotes growth. And that's what I always say to myself.
That's great. I like that statement. I think sometimes we're unsure where everything is going to lead us, but if you trust the process and you trust the work, then, I think everything's going to work out overall.
Absolutely. If you're in the right environment, absolutely.
Would you say that this has been one of the more rewarding jobs that you've done?
Oh, I would definitely say so. Yes.
That's
Yeah,
great.
in so many ways. I mean, just after 2 years, I received just something in the mail. It was kind of a reward from the higher ups saying that you are the exact kind of person that we're looking here, and we've been watching you, and like we want you to take this reward, as a little sign of our appreciation for everything you've done. And then out of the blue, less than 3 years working there, I get nominated for a global award for the whole company.
Wow.
Thousands and thousands of people competing for this reward, for this superstar award. I get nominated and told I've reached the final. I've somehow reached the final. I've got enough people to vote for me. I just felt it. I just felt it on that day. When it was going to be announced who won and everything, I just had a feeling. I was looking up at the sky and I saw kind of like a bright star and the shape of a star in the sun or something, and close to that. And I said, oh my God, this is a sign. This is a sign. And I ended up winning. I just could not believe it that I was recognized in this sort of way. That my bosses really took appreciation for everything that I am, for everything that I do, the difference that I make in people's lives and stuff, and getting this kind of award, allowed me to go on a trip to Legoland, California, where I got to meet really cool people and learn really cool things, how they operate their gigantic park, nominated for like one of the best guest attractions in all of
Wow.
Legoland. So it's pretty impressive, you know. I'm just extremely grateful for that. That somebody saw actually what I was doing, and I blended in while I worked there. I literally I was at the park. It was supposed to be a bit of combination of business and pleasure, and I sure made it that. I dressed in my whole Lego flair and everything like I would at work, and then people thought I worked there, and they started interacting with me. I did some trading of minifigures and these puppet badges that we have as rewards, and I met some extraordinary people there. This woman who's been working there for about like 22 years, 25 years, and she showed me her back office where she can actually make real Legos, like an old fashioned machine and everything. She gave me the VIP tour. I saw her
Wow.
back office where she had all these cool things made that she made out of Legos for so many years, and that just showed too that I think Lego really takes care of their people.
It sounds like it.
They really do. They really allow people to be recognized, and I think that's just a huge plus in my personal life.
That's
Having everything balanced now, it's just a huge part of it.
That actually sounds really great. They sound like a great company to work for, and they look for the people who actually care about the work and who care about the job. And
Yeah, and they get recognized. They recognize the people who do.
That's great. And it truly sounds like you've lived the saying of with good work comes perseverance in that
Yes.
company.
Oh, yes, of course, that too. I mean, it's not just going there to play, so to speak. I'm being professional the whole time, and I'm really finding ways to continue to push myself. So I'm coming up with new games and stuff. So I'm what they call a playmaker too on weekends, and I design these games for kids to interact and play, and it's all related to Lego and stuff. And so I'm pushing myself too to find new creative ways to inspire children and and have fun and things. So it's really it does, it's not just going there for the paycheck. Never. It's way more than that, trust me. Yeah, it's way more than that, and I like the way that I see it that way.
That's great. It's good to have an open mind, and it's good to have a open clarity of what you're looking for in terms of what your career and what your passion is.
Well, it's always been Lego and building and now interacting with kids. And so it's definitely all blends in well together. And now we have a huge opportunity because Lego is coming back into the picture. Now that they're back, um, I see even higher up, more opportunities for Lego to take over and put some money back into where we work, to our center and stuff, and make it an even bigger place.
That's great. I hope it really works out. Speaking of opportunities, this actually kind of leads me to my next question for you. How do you take your experiences at work and put them in a skill set like acting?
I would say, on average, we can have around 400 to 500 kids, like at one point during a busy day. And when you're in front of a crowd like that, nobody wants to really embarrass themselves, right? But
Right.
you know what? I think I'm not afraid to embarrass myself. Honestly, I think I've just learned to love my sense of humor so much and appreciate it that I'm not really afraid to embarrass myself a little bit. It's better to laugh with yourself, that, or at yourself, than have other people laugh at you. I can be in a classroom and teaching a class or something, you kind of feel the tension too. Sometimes you just get those people that aren't very humorous or anything like that. So then you got to kind of turn it down a notch. But if you have a lot of kids who are ranged from like 3 to 5, then you can get away with anything. Yeah, it'd be as silly as you want, and they won't care. And they like it. I think in that sense too, it allows children to be themselves as well. And I think that's something that could be lacking a little bit. They don't have a lot of opportunities where they can just be themselves, and they can try their hardest and be recognized as well.
That's great. I think that's a good outlook to have. If you can't have fun by, embarrassing yourself, like you said earlier,
Yeah.
or poking fun at yourself, you're not being your authentic self. You're really
No.
not.
No.
Uh, and I think that goes for anybody, honestly. Let me ask you, how did you take that and incorporate it into the short film that we did together?
Just not being afraid, just being myself and trusting myself. I think I came a long way with that, not having so much self doubt and low self esteem. I think it definitely raised a lot, being in the environment that I am, and then being behind camera as well. That can make people very nervous. But I think how I said you choose uncertainty over certainty. I was put in situations when I started teaching, for example, that I didn't know what to expect. Every day was going to be different, really, with the kids coming in and taking care of them for a whole day. You can be as organized as you want, but you'll never be prepared for what's coming. And so, in a sense, that definitely, before all of this, teaching definitely put me on my toes and got me ready to accept anything that's going to happen. And I think just pushing myself, being behind screen, and having that improv, and just ready for any kind of environment. I think that was the key.
It sounds like getting to be more yourself and finding an environment where you're allowed to be as goofy and be as silly as you're able to be. It seems like that helped you build the confidence you needed to go for what you wanted to do.
Oh, certainly. And just and adding, being recognized too, that I wasn't just doing this and nobody was seeing it. I think that that was the cherry on top too. That I'm like, I'm finally in a place where I'm recognized for doing my hard work professionally, and um, and having an excellent outcome with reviews from families and children and things like that.
It's an interesting experience because when you go from the line of work that we did together and then you start going from doing what a corporate world wanted you to do to doing what you want to do, it's a big game changer in how your life is overall.
Oh, huge. But you have to be willing to take that leap. You have to be willing to really put yourself out there, because it's hard to leave a work environment where you work with your best friends, and you also have a steady paycheck. You have great health insurance. It's hard to leave that. It's hard.
It
I
is.
for one definitely am not a fan of change, and so it was very hard for me to be ready to take that leap. For some people it doesn't come until really late
No.
in their lives and stuff, but hopefully sooner rather than later. You got to take that leap.
It's definitely a difficult challenge going from something that you're used to going to something that's new and scary. But I absolutely think that if you put your mind to it, that change doesn't seem as scary once you start doing it.
No, it doesn't. And you feel really proud of yourself for doing it. It can be scary though. It definitely can be scary.
I was wondering, could you show me that little figure that you had up earlier, the trophy?
Yeah.
So what's the story behind that?
So this was a trophy that I earned just at work. They give us a lot of like sets and stuff for like winning things and activities and stuff that we participate in, and so there's always a chance to win something. I mean, if you haven't had any Lego or anything since you started working with them, then something is wrong. Yeah. Um, yeah, this was a trophy that I won from an activity recently, and it was snowing out recently, so I was just like decided to put it together. Yeah, finally.
That's great. That's great. I think you had another one for me to see.
Yeah, I had another one too. This one was given on adult night,
Oh,
and
that's great.
I actually, well, first of all, I love giraffes. I absolutely love giraffes. In case all of our viewers didn't know, mammals in mammals, giraffes have the largest heart.
Wow.
Yeah, in the animal kingdom, because think about how the blood pressure that has to go up that really long neck and
Wow.
everything, and so
Yeah.
they have the largest heart in all of the animal kingdom, and that's something very symbolic. We also have a very large giraffe just outside our store. And so I saw it on the first day of my interview. It's like, oh, well, this has to be a sign, because there's a huge Lego giraffe out here, and giraffes are like one of my favorite animals. So,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
That's
very
great.
symbolic.
That's
Yeah.
great. How long does it take you to build a set, like when you're teaching kids?
Depends on the size of it, really. It
Okay.
can be take up to an hour, or it can take a couple of days. Depends on how I want to pace myself. Sometimes I don't want to build it all right away. I want to save the excitement, for a little bit of time.
That's
Like you
great.
can you can buy the Home Alone house, for example, and it comes in 25 bags, and so you can actually use it as an advent calendar.
Oh my gosh.
So you open one bag a day, and put one bag together a day.
That's actually
That's
kind of
yeah.
cool, honestly.
Or yeah, yeah. What if people treated Legos like puzzles, and they just took it apart after they're done and put it back in the box, and then rebuild it another time. I
That's
don't,
great.
I don't have that strength though. Once I put it together, I'm just playing it right away.
You mean of all the glass cases you have at your place, you don't have a spot for everything?
Not for everything. No, I see. I keep getting more. I keep getting more.
That's great.
And I'm starting to use Legos to educate children in a different way. And I want to start soon advertising that and getting that rolling. A huge idea of mine and my sister's as well. We've collaborated our ideas, and we're going to use Lego to teach a very important lesson and something. Yeah. So it's not the end, certainly not the end. And now that I work for Lego, and they're starting to evolve on Lego education, I think that there might be a door. There might be a door where I can pitch my ideas to a Lego official and get it into an official set
That would
for
be
Lego
amazing.
education. That would be amazing. Yeah. Sky's the
Well,
limit, Sean. You've been telling me that. You've been showing me that, and that's something I really have to try. I have to push myself.
absolutely. Yeah, keep pushing at it. I think you'll go places. It's all about the people you know and the people who can help push your voice out there even louder, as well as remembering you also have a voice. You got to remember that you have that voice to speak up and to say what you want and to be able to talk to, like you just said, speak to the officials without being scared and without being nervous.
No, no, you shouldn't be. You should
Yeah.
not be. Well, hopefully they don't just take my idea, and throw me out the door. Yeah.
Bring NDA contracts and other stuff for them to
Right.
sign before you
Yeah.
say
Yeah. And
anything.
all that. Yeah.
And a trusty lawyer works too.
Yeah.
But no, I think with the right amount of preparation and the good people that you're working with, I definitely think you're gonna get somewhere with that.
Yeah. I
Could
think
you,
my boss definitely is the one who recognized me and wrote this very nice letter, getting nominating me for that award. And she definitely recognized me and put me on the map just in general. Like
that's great.
I was, yeah, I was just like the lowest. I mean, not the lowest, but I mean, I was, not very highly ranked in terms of master model builders or anything like that. And just to feel recognized like that was just really amazing.
That's great.
And I feel like I'm with the right people.
You are. You are. It definitely sounds like it. Just keep being yourself and keep pushing forward. I was wondering actually if you could tell me a little bit further about what your idea is for the educational videos you want to do.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. We're starting with a of how forests, and it's going to sound silly, but it's true, and we will prove it. Is that trees that are in forests actually communicate with each other
Wow.
through underground networks of fungi, of mushrooms. And they send messages to each other. They communicate just like me and you. And they also send nutrients to each other. It would start kind of with a mother tree and have surrounding baby trees. And that mother tree would supply all the nutrients and everything for the baby trees to evolve and to grow. So we're going to be kind of displaying how that network grows and how it passes on these signals and stuff, and how it sends messages, and it sends nutrients so that it can defend itself from certain things that may be happening. If there's going to be a fire or a blizzard or anything like that, it can kind of send little toxins and stuff to the little baby trees so that they can defend themselves. And yeah, we're gonna so trying to explain this whole network and how when you look around in a forest, what's actually going on. You'll see a tree that has fallen on the ground, yet it's still alive in a sense because it's still feeding. You'll see mushrooms and stuff slowly grow on it, and it's taking those net nutrients, then passing them back through that underground network so that something else can grow.
You're incorporating all of this into an episode of one of
Yeah,
your
it's
educational
yeah,
videos?
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's
And so
incredible research.
I'm adding the play aspect into it, where people can use these little white branches to connect these little networks that are moving down the trees from the mother tree, and so they can use these little white Lego puzzle pieces to connect these networks and feed to the little baby trees.
Wow, that's amazing,
Yeah,
honestly.
thank
Uh,
you.
you were talking about your project a little bit. Yeah, I think that's actually wonderful on how you are incorporating Lego and education to bring especially in today's world where educational shows are kind of becoming obsolete on television. It's good that it's being pushed to stuff like the internet where you can share it on a more broader horizon than you can possibly share it on a television set. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. And I think it's something that wouldn't necessarily be taught in schools, and it can be a vital lesson for children and of all ages, people of all ages to, start being aware of what is actually happening around us in terms of
yes.
nature and how these trees are communicating with themselves. It's something that doesn't come across every day. And so I think it would be very beneficial for them to learn about it.
That'd be great to see, honestly. You definitely want to educate the younger people, especially, like I said earlier, in today's world where things are consistently changing.
Yeah.
It would be nice for them to have a place to go to every day where they know it would feel a little familiar and safe with the education that they're receiving from you guys.
Yeah, and I think
So,
stepping out into nature is still something very important and crucial for people. And
yes,
we may not step outside as much as we did back in the day and stuff. So it may be, kind of awakening to people to see and understand fully what's going on in
absolutely.
our world, on our planet. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good way to look at it. This actually kind of leads me to my next question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I was wondering what advice you could give to others who are interested in the field of being a cast member at a theme park, or who's interested in getting into acting, or even what you're doing, like the educational videos. What advice do you have for them?
I think people really have to find what works for them. I think at the end of the day, it's crucial, very important for people to be working in an environment that suits them, where they feel recognized and they feel that they can really be themselves. And they're not,
100%.
it should be more than just the paycheck, really, at the end of the day. You should really be enjoying what you're doing, and I think that would change your whole cycle of life and everything. Just being in that kind of environment where you feel valued, you feel respected, you feel recognized, and you can truly be yourself. That's just where you can really blossom and where you can really evolve as a human being, which is our
Yes.
purpose in life.
Yes, 100%. That is a great outlook to have. You don't want to go to work or your career dreading every day. That's not going to get you anywhere. You got to go where you're going to be happy, and you got to go where you feel the most fulfilled in what you do, and you got to feel the passion for it too.
And it's not easy. It's not easy
No,
for anyone.
no.
But you have to take, like we said, you have to take that leap.
Yes. I distinctly remember a couple conversations you and I had about some working environments that we used to feel passion for, and then the passion kind of
Slowly
simmered
drops a little.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't feel the same, but then you kind of find that passion again and you get going with something new and you get going with, it's all about doing something new too.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
I think so. I think so.
So,
If you work the same job for a long time, it can start to feel very routine.
yes,
And it's in some ways you don't even feel challenged anymore.
yes.
And you don't feel as recognized as you were in the beginning. And so that may sometimes be a blessing in disguise, and you have to recognize when it may be time for change. Embrace it.
And the biggest thing you have to remember is when you get to that new change, that first question that pops in your mind is always going to be, why the hell did I do this?
Yeah.
But that moment is going to pass. You're going to find where you belong in the situation that you put yourself in. You're going to find the passion that you're looking for. And I think overall, you're going to find the goal that you're trying to get to.
Oh, yes, definitely. 100%.
So I have one more question for you.
Yeah,
You ready
yeah,
for it?
absolutely.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, and how do you hope to get there?
We all have to kind of make our future and make our goal and what we want to. And I feel a lot of doors just opening for me currently. And I'm not sure which one exactly to take. I'm kind of trying to be clever about it and see how I can blend everything together. I'm very, very grateful for the acting opportunities that you've given me. And I look forward to those kind of opportunities in that field. I'm also optimistic about my line of work with Lego and these education programs that I've mentioned. And I'm hoping big things for them too. I'm just kind of seeing what's out there, not trying to get um, too too excited about it because I don't want to disappoint myself. Um, one step at a time, seeing what door opens and taking it all in,
That's
and
great.
find ways. I think yeah, doors are opening, things are shifting, and it's time to just kind of enjoy the ride for now.
That's a good outlook. Yeah, I remember when you messaged me about wanting to try acting and you wanted to get involved. I thought that was a very good first step for you, especially somebody who's never done acting like the work that we did a day in his life. And you came through and you really gave it your all. And no matter what situation I threw you in as a character, you nailed every single line. You nailed every single action, and
Thank you.
it was fun working with you. And I definitely want to have you back on as another project.
Awesome. Well, I'll be
Um,
there.
and I'm excited to see where your progress goes in the next 5 years. And I definitely am looking forward to seeing the success that you find.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank
Of
you.
course, of course. Well, Nick, thank you for hopping on today. I really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely my pleasure, Sean, and thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I hope to have you back on as soon as you start up your educational videos. I'd like to see where it's
Oh,
going.
absolutely. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share some of my future projects and just giving insight to people who feel stuck in a dead end job or whatever. Just let me tell you, there's a lot out there. You just have to be willing to take that jump. You can do it. You can find it. You can find anything you're looking for.
Absolutely, man. And that is definitely how you're going to find success, is
Yeah.
keeping that in mind.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you. Thank you,
Of
Sean.
course. Of course. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's show. Please go check Nick's workout, and as soon as he has it up and ready, I will link his channel in the description below so you guys can go check it out and keep an eye on his work as a Legoland cast member in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the what mall is it?
The Plymouth Meeting Mall.
Plymouth Meeting Mall. You guys can go visit him there and definitely go give some love to Legoland. Nick, have a great night.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Bye, everybody.